PUBG put out, this is the quick little 30-second trailer of the Aim Punch. And again, for those who don't understand what Aim Punch is basically flinch, like from Call of Duty. It's always been in PUBG. It's just been in a much lower setting, I guess is the right verbiage to use there. So now with Aim Punch, they're changing what weapons deal what level of Aim Punch. And we'll go over all like the actual specific notes in a second, but here's a quick little demonstration of what's going to look like. So a lot of sway, a lot of flinch. In FPP, it's much less pronounced than it is in TPP, but it's still pretty significant. That shotgun was pretty wild looking, actually. And apparently SMGs are going to have almost as much aim punch as a shotgun. Good grief. That bolty looked pretty crazy. So that's assault rifle 5.56, 7.62 DMR. They mean just regular DMR. Shotgun, sniper. Good gosh. Dude, the freaking bolt. The bolts are gonna have crazy aim punch now. Like, look. So what this is showing you, like, again, we're going to go and do our own test, but what this is showing you is when you get shot with a sniper rifle, this is before the change, and this is when you get shot with a sniper rifle after the change with a 6X. So the larger the scope that you have, the more pronounced the aim punch is going to look. That's how it always has been, but now it's even more pronounced because there's more aim punch. So look at the left side, a little bit of jump. Look at the amount of screen shake that you get when a bolty hits you. That's a crazy amount of screen shake, which could be a good buff for bolts. But what I'm really concerned with, and I think a lot of people are, is right here. And I think they even didn't show... Yeah, they didn't even show it, did they? So they show SMG in TPP mode, but ironically, they don't show it in FPP mode. So here's your 5.56 AR, which is going to have more aim punch than before, but not as much as a 7.62 AR. And I think this is just a typo. I think this is supposed to be 7.62 AR. Showing that you have a little bit more aim punch. Then shotguns get a big aim punch jump. SMGs are supposed to be right under shotguns, but higher than 7.62 assault rifle. So they don't show it, but it's going to be somewhere in between that screen shake and that screen shake. And then you jump to sniper rifles. Well, DMR should be in between. Oh, no. Yeah, DMR should be here, right? Because ARs and DMRs are pretty close, they said. And Gunplay Labs available January 22nd until February 4th for PC. January 30th for console to February 11th. You can do a survey to give PUBG your feedback, which I would strongly encourage everyone to do this survey realistically after you play it, or at the very least after you watch one of your streamers play it, because PUBG, believe it or not, is going to be looking at this feedback, and this is going to be one of the best ways you can let them know that it's a good change, it's a bad change, or how to do it properly. And that's what they did with the SMG change, which they did actually modify a few things from the patch notes to the actual release to the public. So all right, let's take a peek. So, aim punch is a term as we describe the camera movement that happens when your character is hit. It's a mechanic designed to simulate the impact of hits and effectiveness of suppressive fire. PUBG has had aim punch in the game since the beginning, but how exactly does the aim punch you experience now differ to the newer version being introduced in the upcoming Gunplay Labs? So a reminder, this is just in Gunplay Labs. This is not going to be on live servers. You're not going to see it in your normal games. Only if you go to the arcade mode Gunplay Labs, okay? Let's talk about the early version of Aim Punch that was applied during PUBG's early access period, 2017. Back then, it was very basic implementation, powerful but visually unnatural, often hindering gameplay rather than enhancing it. Like it's very, very jittery, kind of shook you around all over the place. Based on community feedback, we minimize its intensity to create a version of the Aim Punch that is currently on live server. While this toned down version avoids disrupting gameplay, it also lacks the ability to create meaningful distinctions between weapon categories. The new form of Aim Punch you'll encounter in this update is going to combine strengths of both early access and current live versions. We've carefully designed this system to preserve the refined gameplay that players have honed over the past 8 years, while introducing a degree of differentiation between weapon classes. 8 years, good grief. Design intent. Our main intent is to change the levels of Aim Punch and see whether the proposed changes are suitable for the live service of PUBG. To do this, we're going to be running the Gunplay Labs, use your data and your feedback to consider applying adjustments in a future update. In particular, since the intensity of Aim Punch needs to be adjusted in detail for each weapon, and because the determined Aim Punch levels will significantly influence the overall gameplay experience, we felt public tests were the best way to do it in order to gather feedback on all weapon types. Okay, at this point you might be wondering, why are we making changes to Aim Punch? Yeah, I think a lot of people have that question, especially when its application could increase the difficulty of gunplay. First, we've received consistent feedback from many players who want a more noticeable Aim Punch in the system to return. What? Based on this feedback, we've been exploring ways to improve Aim Punch, and with this iteration, introduce Gunplay Labs to achieve 2 key objectives. The first is to create a more dynamic gunplay by adding variety to hit effects. The second is to establish Aim Punch as a new balancing factor for future weapon and meta balancing efforts. Basically, try to have another variable that they can change and offset to change or steer the meta. So for a prime example, in this Gunplay Labs, 7.62 assault rifles are going to have a higher level of Aim Punch than a 5.56 assault rifle, giving you more of a reason to maybe want to use a 7.62 assault rifle over a 5.56. Ultimately, by applying varying levels of Aim Punch intensity, we want to highlight the unique strengths and weaknesses of each weapon type, enabling players to experience more diverse gunplay. We hope the new Aim Punch will add another layer of variability alongside elements like recoil, fire damage. Okay. All right, here is the change. The aim shift. This is the value that determines how much the aiming point itself is moved upwards when being hit. The aiming point is displaced by this value and is not restored automatically. So that's like your actual red dot, like your dot. The center of your screen where you're aiming, that point is displaced. In other words, it moves at some value and it doesn't go back to where it was before. Then there's the camera shake element. This value determines the extent of camera shake without affecting the aiming point. It affects the camera angle's axis rotation, vertical and horizontal movement, and the shake value of the FOV. So a great example of this is, if you remember the shotgun that's on Destin only, the 012 shotgun, that has a crazy, insane amount of camera shake. Whereas the actual recoil of that shotgun isn't terrible. It moves up, a little bit each time. But when you shoot a shot, the screen does like all this crazy crap. Like it shakes all over the place. That I've always thought is bad. Camera shake, in my opinion, is like motion blur in a video game. It should be removed. It should not exist. Aim shift makes sense if you're going to talk about adding flinch or aim punch, where like, oh, someone shot you, so your character visibly kind of scoots up a little bit with his aim. Like that it makes sense for me. Camera shake, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand it. I don't like it in this kind of game. There are a number of adjustments we're looking to make the Aim Punch system. Update Aim Punch to have a smoother and more natural movement. Adjust Aim Punch impact values for ADS and non-ADS states, as well as for armored and unarmored targets. That's going to be an interesting one to test too, because historically, the higher the armor, the less damage you receive, so you should have less Aim Punch as well. I wonder if they take that into account here. Camera shake should be more noticeable for unarmored targets. Okay, maybe I should read the whole sentence before commenting. ADS should feel a bigger impact of Aim Punch. Yeah, you see, I don't think this is good. This is good. ADS should feel a bigger impact of Aim Punch. So for those who play TPP, you're going to have less of an impact on this aim punch change. But for those of us who like to play FPP, or when you're just aiming down your sights, you're going to have a larger noticeable impact of aim punch. I don't like that. Adjust aim punch levels by weapon type. Now, on paper, this doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Adjust aim punch levels by weapon type. It kind of makes sense if you think about it. But let's take a look at how they did it. Aim punch intensity by weapon type. So you have from left to right, camera shake, low amounts of camera shake to high amounts of camera shake, low amounts of aim punch or your aim shift to high amounts of aim shift. So remember, the camera shake is just your camera moving. Your dot where you started is still going to be there where it ends up. This is your actual dot where you're aiming is going to have moved and not returned to its original location. So here's the grading scale that they give it. Pistols and etc., like I guess crossbows and anything else falls under here. So very low aim punch, very low camera shake. If you get hit with a 5.56 assault rifle, very low aim punch, very low camera shake. If you get hit with a 5.56 DMR, a bit more aim shift, so a one notch up and one notch over and more camera shake. 7.62 ARs, you get hit with a 7.62, you're actually not going to get as much aim punch as you would with a 5.56 DMR, but you will get more camera shake, which is interesting. So your aimer itself, where you're aiming at, is not going to move as much, but your camera is going to move more violently. If you get hit with a 7.62 DMR, you're going to be getting basically a bit more camera shake and a bit more aim shift than a 5.56 DMR or 7.6 AR. Now here's where I think they're going to start to lose a lot of people. SMGs have a significant amount of camera shake and the most aim shift that we've seen out of any weapon class. Shotguns have just as much camera shake as SMGs, but more aim shift. And then sniper rifles, this is bolt action sniper rifles. So Kar 98, Mosin, M24, AWM, Winchester, I guess would fall into that. That's kind of interesting, actually. Could be a nice Winchester buff. Are going to have crazy amounts of camera shake and crazy amounts of aim shift. There's no way that I can sit here with a straight face and try to explain to you guys how this makes sense. I just can't, because it doesn't. Like, so I already prefaced this coverage with, I actually don't like aim punch in games. I wish aim punch was not in the games. So now that we all agree and understand where I'm coming from, I can then start to see down the lines of like, okay, a developer, they want to balance weapons out. They want to make some weapon classes stronger than others. Okay, I'm with you. All right. Big gun should have more aim punch than others. Okay, I'm kind of following the trajectory. But how do we get here? Like this is clearly like the design choice of a developer who says, you know, it'd be really cool though, bro. Like, come on, man. That just, and I know why they're doing it. And I think all of us by now know why they're doing it. They've been doing the SMG buff for, 3 or 4 months now, maybe even longer than that. It's a clear push to this SMG meta, which is a clear push to help newer or less skilled players do well in the game. And I've said it a bajillion times. I'm okay with us trying to help new players and kind of make it maybe a more easy onboarding situation for new players. But at what point do you just start to water down the core experience of the game? I think we're getting there. I really do think we're getting there. And again, I got to go play with it. I got to see how it feels in game, because on paper it's tough to. This is a tough thing to digest of how it's going to be in game. But I'm just giving you my feedback on reading it and looking at the graph, and then here's my quick opinion. Shotguns, okay. Sniper rifles, okay. All right, so sniper rifles. The highest amount of aim punch will apply to sniper rifles. We want players to feel the impact of these high caliber weapons, and since they fire slowly, we don't expect snipers to have the highest intensity to create balance issues. When hit by a sniper rifle, the aiming point will shift significantly, making it harder to maintain accuracy and land consecutive shots. This will also ensure targets feel the impact of a large caliber hit. Look, I actually like a balance in favor of bolties, because historically DMRs have dominated PUBG for quite a long time. Anybody who plays PUBG knows this. DMRs dominate PUBG because of their high damage per second, a lot of bullets in each magazine. You don't have to un-ADS, all those kind of things. So this could be a nice change for bolt action rifles, really elevating their selection choice and like the words say, making the enemies feel the impact of that boom, boom. Even if it's not a headshot, they're going to feel it. But I feel like there's other ways to do it. Just for an example, sniper rifle, you could have an attachment where, hey, you put the cheek pad on it. You no longer have to un-ADS to rechamber around. You're able to stay aiming down sight, boom, rechamber around. You can get a second shot off. That'd be a quick, easy balance for snipers. Rank 2, shotguns. Shotguns are powerful weapons and should feel the impact and should feel impactful when taking a hit, especially when being hit by multiple pellets. Aim shift intensity is higher due to the increased damage, so targets should feel more impact than that of other weapons. I guess so. Here's another question that's just coming up right now, and again, we're gonna probably figure this out once we play it later today. Shouldn't this all kind of be based on the damage you receive from these weapons? Like, what if I have a choke and I'm 50 meters away, which is a good distance away, and I hit you with my shotgun? Should you really have a ton of aim punch just because you got hit with a lot of pellets? Like, what the damage over distance, the bullet velocity, drop off, all that, is that taken into account as well on the aim punch intensity chart? That's one of my questions. SMGs are fast firing weapons that allow for multiple hits in quick succession, but with lower overall damage per bullet. So the aim punch should feel less impactful than that of sniper rifles or shotguns. Even so, SMGs still deliver a noticeable level of aim punch. Yeah, this is kind of contradicting itself. Low damage per bullet, quick succession hits, aim punch should feel less impactful. And how is it up here? Like, truly, if anything, SMGs should be down here. Like, logically, SMGs should be down here. Ranks 4 through 7, DMRs, assault rifles. Oh, LMGs. Yeah, where do LMGs fall in this category? These ranks are similar to what is on the current live servers and are broken down as follows. Rank 4, all 7.62 DMR. Rank 5, 5.56 DMR and the VSS. So the VSS is same as a 5.56 DMR. 7.62 AR and LMGs. Oh, 5.56 AR. Oh, okay, interesting. So the actual MG3 and the DP28 are going to have the recoil of this chart. And then the M249 is going to have the recoil of the 5.56 AR. So they actually, they differentiate the LMGs as well, which is kind of interesting. But again, if I can, just thinking out loud, if I can be honest, I feel like the LMG should be somewhere like over here, right? Like an LMG should have, it's harder to shoot. It's boom, 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 boom. It's like you got a bigger gun, harder to shoot, more recoil. I feel like you should be rewarded with more aim. I don't know. All right, the aim punch intensity between ranks 1 and 3 have all been designed to show a noticeable difference. However, the difference among 4 to 7 is minimal, with LMGs being aligned with each respective AR due to their similar utility. Since the weapons in this category are already considered mainstream, we aim to avoid giving them additional advantages through stronger aim punch, okay? Crossbow, handguns, melee, etc. will all be under the lowest one, rank 8. Okay. Conclusion. We're looking forward to seeing your feedback. Once testing is complete, we feel these adjusted aim punch settings will give a better overall feeling to PUBG's gunplay, rewarding players who get the upper hand in gunfights while making the different weapon types feel more impactful the harder you are hit by them. By applying different levels of aim punch to weapon categories, we aim to give them their own unique category, blah, blah, blah. In the future, we plan to introduce varying levels of aim punch within the same weapon category to further refine gunplay. Oh boy. Once you've had a chance to get into the game and test them out, be sure to fill out the feedback survey we've linked in this post to let us know if we've hit the mark or where we need to adjust. That includes today's dev letter. Thank you for your interest. Okay, look, we're going to go and test it in just a minute. I just want to say this as a final thought. 2 things. Number 1, I really do hope that all of you click on that feedback option and give feedback, preferably once you play the stuff, once you actually test it yourself, okay? In that same breath, remember the Dragunov when it was first introduced? I did that big video like comparing it to the other DMRs and like doing a deep dive into what the Dragunov can do. This was when it one-shot you with a level 2 helmet at like 100 something meters or something like that. Like it was like really, really strong. They saw that video, but also obviously got your guys' feedback from the labs gunplay testing, and they did not push that to live server. Remember, they nerfed the Dragunov considerably to where it is today. So I just say that to reiterate your feedback. I do really believe it's important. I'm not saying they're always going to listen to our feedback. We've seen them not listen to our feedback before. And to ours, I mean, like, you know, our bubble of opinions, because we aren't the only people playing this game, nor are we the only region playing this game. The other feedback that I'll give on Aim Punch is I almost feel like they're trying to make it more difficult and confusing than it needs to be. I've always been of the opinion that, again, understanding that Aim Punch I think is dumb, first off, but if it's going to be in the game, why not just make it based on the damage that the weapon deals, right? Like, your player receives 20 damage numbers, 20 damage. You get X amount of Aim Punch for 20 damage. If you get 50 damage, it's X amount of Aim Punch. 100 damage is X amount of Aim Punch. So you just have that baseline of whatever damage number gives you this much Aim Punch. And then each weapon is going to fall somewhere in those damage number ranges based on its damage per bullet. So SMGs, you know, have a close range. You'd get maybe more Aim Punch because it has high damage up close. But as the distance increases, they have a damage drop off. And so the Aim Punch just goes down. It's like shotguns, you get a lot of Aim Punch up close because you get the most damage from a shotgun up close, but the further you are away from the shotgun, the less damage per pellet it's going to do, the less Aim Punch you receive. I just feel like that'd be kind of a simpler, cleaner solution. But I don't know, maybe they want to take into account other things like bullet velocity, like size of the caliber of the bullet and stuff like that, which, I mean, yeah, I guess if we want to get into the nitty gritty, you can kind of differentiate them all like that. Like, you know, a Kar 98 having a 7.62 caliber bullet and then also having a very high bullet velocity, it should probably get lower Aim Punch than a AWM, right? Because an AWM is a 308 mag and it's got like the highest bullet velocity ever. So, you know, that should have even more Aim Punch than a Kar 98. Does it? I don't know, but like, I just feel like it's not very clear as to how they determined these values. It just kind of seems like they're just like, we'll just put this one here and then we'll kind of do that one there and then slide, you know, it's hard to follow from a scientific method is all I'm trying to say. So we're going to go to arcade. Gunplay Labs Aim Punch. Join Gunplay Labs and try out upcoming weapon aim punch adjustments in an accelerated combat environment. This is a TPP only Erangel squads. I believe circle zones are faster in this one. This should be in team deathmatch though. Didn't we give that feedback? I feel like we gave that feedback for the last one, for the SMG Gunplay Labs. I'm almost positive we gave them that feedback for the Gunplay Labs SMG that it should be in team deathmatch. It doesn't make any sense why it's not. If the goal of the test is to see how much Aim Punch you receive from being hit by weapons, the best way to do that is arcade TDM, an unlimited amount of testing. So here's what I want. I want a red dot and a 4X because, like I said, visually, 4Xs or the higher caliber scope, higher size scope rather, is going to give you more screen shake, but it doesn't mean you're going to get more of the actual aim jump. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the red dot on it. That's what most people will be experiencing. So first we'll do, I don't need the AUG, I need M16 and Mutant. And now all we're going to do is look at how much my aim is jumping. So single fire with a Mutant in the chest. That was barely nothing. One more time. Mutant to the chest. Okay. That honestly didn't look like a lot at all to me. I don't know what you guys think. Here's an M16. Single fire to the chest. Same spot. Same spot. That looked pretty minimal, if I can be honest. We'll do the same thing real quick. We'll do a Mutant first. All right, Mutant. heal. In case this M16 actually kills me. M16. I mean, it's definitely there. Again, it doesn't seem like it's this crazy amount though. So you have an SMG, right? You have a PB Bison? Yeah, okay.
Bison, yep.
All right, whenever you're ready, just do one shot at a time. All right, PB Bison. Oh my God. Bro. That's actually nuts. Holy shit.
Those techs are huge, bro.
All right, now just for a quick comparison, can you pick up a AR? Oh, I hit the M4. Wow. Virtually like almost no, I would not say none, but like very low aim punch. With this one, just be real careful because you might kill me quickly. So just make sure you're aiming for my chest, not my head, okay? All right, fresh vest. All right, shotgun. Jeez! Okay, that did a crap ton of damage. Want to put a 4X on it and then try the shotgun and then do the SMG again. Be real careful. You almost killed me. No, man, I want to put the 4X to like see what the aim punch is in 4. Okay, stand back, you savage. You're trying to kill me.
I was giving you.
I'm going. You're holding that thing sideways, dude. Jeez. All right, so I'll tell you the aim punch was a bit more on the 4X, but it wasn't like a crazy amount. It was less than what I was anticipating. I'll just say that. All right, now do the SMG one more time, please. Again, I'm gonna use a 4X again here, chat. Good grief. It's so much like the actual aim punch itself is not crazy. Like the actual aimer where I'm aiming at only jumps up a smidge, but there's so much weapon sway. Okay, go when you're ready. Ulti. Damn. Yeah, that was pretty significant. So Bolty has a good bit of aim punch. Now what I want to do is do the same thing with the bolt. I want to have the 4X on me to do it though. All right, whenever you're ready. Jeez. Yeah, I was aiming like his bottom cheek and the aimer moved like off of his head up to the left. Like that was like not only a lot of screen shake, but the actual, my aimer shifted crazy amount. All right, so 7.62 DMR recoil or aim punch. Do it again. Okay, so there is for sure recoil. That must have just been a bug that we saw last game. Maybe a bug with the like the armor being broken. Now can you do a actually do the dragon off one more time and put a 4X on. Okay. Okay. So I mean it's definitely noticeable. It's a punch. All right. Now can you do the SMG? And I'm gonna get back a ways from you. Let's do this. So you stay right there. You don't move your character. I'm just gonna move me. Okay. So first do one shot here. I just want to see, chat, if the recoil changes over distance. Good grief, I almost felt like that was more. gosh. Damn. So it actually felt like the recoil was like strong all the way through. Like every one of those shots was like a significant amount of recoil. Okay, go again. Imagine you got a DMR and you're trying to shoot back at a target. So I'm aiming. Good God. I'm gonna hold my breath. Go ahead, do it again. Holding my breath. Jeez. Do another close range. All right, whenever you're ready, aim for the chest again. Do one shot, and then I'll go to my level 2 vest. Sorry, do one more time. Okay. Repair the vest. Okay, go ahead. I feel like that reduced it. Okay, I'm gonna put the level 3 back on. Do that one more time, please. Okay, whenever you're ready. Yeah, I feel like the level 3 does seem like it reduces it, right? Final test SMG full auto spray. Okay, now everyone wants to see a full auto spray. Can you go prone so that you get the best recoil? And I'm going to put a 4x and just try to kill me, okay? But all right, chat. So this is, we're going to use this as like a, I'm trying to DMR him, okay? Use that example in your head. All right, whenever you're ready. Okay, I win. Okay, wait, try to get all of what's up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, let me try it.
So that first shot looked like it did no recoil, and then the couple after that, that was a crazy amount of recoil. And my vest never broke there either. Yeah, that's not good. Man, I tell you what, dude, I don't know. This is yeah, I have to give immediate feedback on the SMG. The other weapons, truly, honestly, didn't seem like that crazy to me. What I was gonna say is I think out of all the ones that we tested, like the ARs and stuff, I honestly didn't seem like that crazy of a change. Like I don't think they needed to be changed, to be clear, but I also don't think that it's like a, oh my God, they just broke the game. The shotgun thing is significant, but it's also like it's a shotgun close range. So like how much is like, okay, the bolty is like, oh, that might be a nice buff for the bolty against a DMR, but at the same time, like, do you need that? Like, there might be better ways to buff the bolty, like I said, like making your gun not unscope whenever you're reloading and stuff like that. But the SMG, man, there's no way to really justify the SMG change, honestly, especially considering, you know, he was obviously going prone, like spraying me with his SMG, but considering they just increased the hip fire and you could just do this with your SMG, and the person who's aiming down their sight trying to dial in a good shot on you is just getting wild screen shake and aim punch. I don't see how we can test that and go, yeah, that's a good change, that seems balanced. To live servers, which that is probably going to be far down the line, to be honest, because this is not slated to come to live server. This is just slated to be tested for 2 weeks. Then PUBG's going to take our feedback, hopefully, and make appropriate corrections, whether it's a full-on revert or changes based on our feedback. That's what we would want to see. If and when it does come to the live servers, like for real, then I'll be able to load a custom game and I'll be able to like do more scientific testing, like actual, here's the damage my player received at this moment, here's the aim punch that, you know, they got. Does the distance make a big difference? Does the level of armor make a big difference? Like where you hit on the body, does that make a difference? We can do all that. But just on a surface level, my knee-jerk reaction after testing it with the boys there is the meta weapons. It's definitely more aim punch. I keep wanting to say recoil. It's definitely more aim punch, but it's not game breaking. The shotgun, very significant. but I feel like if you're getting close range shotgun, you're kind of dead anyway most of the time. So yeah, I don't know, kind of whatever. Bolty, it actually might be a good thing because the bolts have been underwhelmed for a long time against DMR. So maybe that's a nice buff for the bolts. I don't really need to play it more to test it. Like you need to go up against a DMR player with a bolt and vice versa. You need to go up against a bolt player with a DMR when both of you are really trying to kill each other to really feel how it, how it's going to play out. But the SMG thing is like, I don't see any way I could look at the silver lining of the SMG Aim Punch. It just like that should be full on reverted. SMG should never ever have as much aim punch as a shotgun, or even near the same amount of aim punch as a shotgun. If anything, they should be closer to pistols. Like, so that would be way down on the graph. So the graph, for those who maybe didn't see that part of the stream or whatever, is over here. So here's the graph. SMGs are way up here. And just a reminder, camera shake is different from aim shift. So aim punch is both of these things combined. Camera shake and aim shift. Aim shift is like if your cursor is here, if you're aiming down sight and it's here and you get hit and this jumps up here, that's your aim shift. So now you have to manually move your mouse to correct your aim back here. That's aim shift. Camera shake is your aimer stays here, but the camera like freaking jerks around for a second, but the aimer still stays right there. So that's what the difference is between those two. We didn't test pistols because honestly it's probably going to be negligible. These are the meta weapons. They all increased a little bit. DMRs, or it's not, ARs is where the LMGs land. 7.62 is where the 7.62 LMGs land. These were you could notice it, but it wasn't game breaking. Shotguns is crazy significant, crazy noticeable. But again, I don't know if it's actually going to break the game because shotguns were already pretty underwhelming at like mid-range anyway. So you'd only be using them close range. I don't know. Maybe it's too much. Again, it's kind of one of those things you need to test it. You need to be clearing a compound, have someone with a shotgun, and see if you can overcome it. Sniper rifle, again, same thing. On paper, it actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. In practice, that might be another thing. You just really got to get a real life example test out of it. The aim punch is significant though. When we tested it, the aimer was like here, and it jumped like way over here. Like it was a crazy jump, and the camera also had a lot of shake too. So it was significant. The SMG it's the obvious elephant in the room. It like if a third grader pulled this graph, I could probably show my daughter this graph and she would go, "What the heck, Daddy? What is this?" Like I'd be like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That needs to go way the frick over here. That needs to go way over here. What the hell am I thinking?" It doesn't make any sense. So that's my quick synopsis. This is probably like an hour-long video for those who watch it after the fact, not live when I edit it down. That's my quick synopsis of the aim punch intensity. I would, again, strongly recommend, advise, and remind you guys to do the survey. So there's going to be a survey. I'll link it down in the description of the video, like the actual uploaded YouTube video. Or if you just go to PUBG's website, you can go to like news, find the dev letter aim punch, and then come here and do the survey. I would strongly suggest you do the test yourself, play with it yourself, pause, then do the survey. But if you just watched what I showed you and felt like, all right, that's enough to give feedback, then do that. Give feedback, because reminder, they do listen to the feedback. They reverted the Dragunov change. That was the initiation of the Dragunov originally. They reverted it completely, revamped it, then brought it back out. They did change some of the SMG buff mechanics based on our feedback. They are listening. They do make changes, but at the end of the day, if they feel like this is the change that they want to make, guess what? That's what they're going to do, even if it pisses off. I don't know however many people it's going to piss off, but do go give your feedback. Okay. Please don't feel like you're yelling into the void. Give your feedback. Let's try to do our part and make this game better. On average, how frequently do you log into PUBG Battlegrounds each week? We play what? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. So four times a week. Sometimes more, I guess. How many hours do you typically spend playing PUBG PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds each week? 4 times a week, roughly 4 or 5 hours, like 20 plus hours. 21 to 30 hours is probably pretty accurate. Which of the following game modes do you usually play? Please select all that apply. I play normal and arcade. I don't play ranked. Which weapon type do you use the most in PUBG Battlegrounds? Select all that apply. Let's go find out. Weapons? All weapons. I have the most time used with a Kar 98. Then a Mark 12. Then an M24 9er. Then an Ace. Then a barrel. Then an M4. Then an SKS. So I guess sniper, DMR, AR, then SMG in that order. How did the question get worded? Which weapon types do you use the most? Oh, it's select all the weapon types. Okay, well I guess kind of all of them then. I don't know. Yeah, I guess all. I feel like a troll putting all, but I kind of do. I use them all. I just the most often though. I guess it's like how frequently do you call myself? Anyways, which weapon types did you use experiencing Gunplay Labs? Oh, all of them. We tested all of them because we are thorough YouTubers. Next. Was Aim Punch noticeable for the weapon types that you used in Gunplay Labs? Yes, it was. Did Aim Punch feel natural in Gunplay Labs? No, it did not. Do you think the new Aim Punch makes gameplay more fun? No, it makes gameplay less fun. I do think that, truly. What do you think the benefit from the new Aim Punch Who do you think will benefit from the new Aim Punch you experienced in Gunplay Labs PUBG? Skilled players will benefit from it? Less skilled players will benefit from it? It will benefit everyone, or it doesn't benefit anyone? Well, look, a skilled player will know how to take advantage of gameplay mechanics and changes, okay? So, yes, it will benefit everybody. But who is it intended to benefit the most? And the answer to that is less skilled players will benefit from it. In this Gunplay Labs, Aim Punch is stronger in this order: Sniper, Shotgun, SMG, 7.62 DMR, 5.56 DMR, 7.62 AR LMG, 5.56 AR LMG, other. Were you able to notice a difference? Yes. Which weapon types do you think should have a stronger aim punch? None of the above. Literally, I don't have to look at the list. None of the above should have a stronger aim punch. For those who could feel the difference, which weapon types do you think should have a weaker aim punch? Select all that apply. SMG, sniper rifle, shotgun. I want to say all of them. Truly, I want to say all of them, but I'm going to pick those top three just to make it more focused. Honestly, all of them should be reduced, but that's okay. If Aim Punch is introduced to the live server after validation, which weapon types are you most likely to use? Oh, SMG. I use SMG and a sniper all day. What are your thoughts on Aim Punch? Aim Punch is, in my opinion, a mechanic similar to motion blur. Or what's the other feature? Motion blur, or like that kind of like the light flare glare. Or light flare glare. In that, I mean, I disable it at every opportunity. Screen shake feels unnatural in every sense and disrupts the gameplay experience for me. Weapon flinch, commonly referred to, 1F2Rs referred to as Aim Punch, is more realistic than screen shake to me. Although I would prefer if neither were in the game. I prefer to rely on weapon recoil mastery versus trying to overcome synthesized screen shake. Having said that, I'll just put this. The Aim Punch changes should be fully reverted. Having said that, if you are adamant on adamant on implementing them, then it does not make any sense to keep SMGs where they currently are. The lowest caliber weapon in no way should have one of the highest aim punches in the game. SMGs already reward low skilled players by increased hipfire accuracy, faster movement speed, limb damage multiplier, etc. Having yet another factor, another unrealistic factor added to only that specific weapon type is silly. Is that going to translate well in Korean? Silly? I don't know. In my opinion, if aim punch is considered necessary, why not have it directly associated with player damage received? I come before E except after C, guys. If weapon X does Y damage, then Z aim punch is received, regardless of what weapon deals that damage. This would be universal and more balanced. From there, you reduce aim punch by a percentage based on armor and just armor, yeah, because you already get weapon damage number differences based on where you hit a target. Like if you hit him in the neck, that's different damage than the head, even though it's going against the helmet HP. There's, arm shots. You get hit here, it's different damage from here. There's like 4 different chest shots that you can get. Like stomach is different damage from chest, different damage from shoulder. So all that's already taken into account. So if your weapon is doing different damage based on what area it hits, then the aim punch should be applied based on whatever damage number is received. This would also translate better to damage over a distance, whereby quote unquote close range weapons, SMGs, shotguns, would have more aim punch up close and significantly less aim punch over distance. Please reach out for more detailed explanation if needed. Would love to help. Love, CDome. Done. Okay. Feedback has been sent. I did my part. I did my part. All right. I don't know, man. We'll see, chat.